Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back up into the StreamYard studios, welcoming you live. We have a very special interview for you guys. Once again, this thing is gonna have a mind of its own. But yet, ladies and gentlemen, we're back up into the StreamYard studios. In case you guys don't know who I am, in case you've been living under a rock, I am Jake, owner of the Fighting Now, which you guys can go ahead and check it out on Instagram. And you know what? I do want to tell you guys, thank you all so much for the amount of support, for the amount of time that I have worked hard when it comes to these interviews. And I'm telling you one thing now, these interviews are going to be incredible. These interviews are going to be very awesome, to say the least. So yeah, first of all, let's go ahead and send our big thanks to StreamYard. StreamYard is a platform where you get a chance to make your own podcast, interviews, or even like business meetings. And yet, if you guys want to get a chance to check it out at StreamYard.com. It is the perfect place for you to be able to make interviews. I've been doing it for almost a week now, pretty much a week now, and it's definitely helped me to be able to be comfortable with everything. You know, it gives me what I need, and you know, what more can you ask for, to say the least? And of course, you know, one thing I forgot is I forgot to put up my logo up there. There we are. My apologies about that. But also, let's go ahead and send a shout out to RMGFX1. You guys can get a chance to follow them on Instagram, RMGFX1, and get a chance to check out their website. I encourage you guys to go check it out. They are incredible, they are awesome, and they are wonderful, to say the least. They've been super amazing. And you know, hey, if you guys want to get a chance to buy some merch, head on over to rmgfx1.com and make sure you guys use the promo code FIGHTNOW to save 10% off your entire purchase, or get a chance to pick up some Fighting Now merchandise as well. I mean, we have some shirts, we have, you know, tank tops, we have cups. I mean, we have so much that you can ask for. So make sure you guys check that out, rmgfx1.com. And of course, don't forget to check it out, the Jay and Trey podcast tomorrow live on the TNC Sports Talk on YouTube. I know with Anna's teammate Amy Perduto has got a chance to be a part of it, and you know, it's going to be incredible, to say the least. So make sure you guys check it out. We had an amazing show today, and we had an awesome show, which you guys can check it out. Why? You know what? And let's go ahead and send our big thank yous to, big shout out to all these amazing podcasts. Let's go ahead and start it off with Mom's Basement MMA. They are doing so incredible with the amount of podcasts, the amount of shows, the amount of interviews that they've been doing. I encourage you guys to go check them out at Moms_Basement MMA on Instagram. Next, we have Liz with a Z podcast. She's been doing so incredible, to say the least. Shout out to Lisa Solar. I know she's getting ready to prepare for some more fights, more stuff coming her way. But yet, shout out to Lisa Solar. And of course, last but certainly not least, you know, send a shout out to Air Media Productions in the booth. You guys can check that out. They have so many incredible interviews with so many different fighters of different kinds. So I encourage you guys to go check it out. Air Media Productions. You guys go ahead and check it out on whatever podcast you get a chance to listen to, whether it's Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it may be. Just check out In the Booth by our friends at Air Media and Productions. Now, since we finally got a chance to head out of the way, I do want to send a huge amount of shout outs to all of the guests that we had this week. We had Kina got a chance to join me yesterday. We had Shamir Pasua joined me Wednesday, and then earlier today, in case you guys missed it, I don't know why I keep stuttering, but in case you guys missed it, we have Anna Crunchfield that got a chance to join me up into the StreamYard studios. It was an incredible time, and if you guys want to get to check out all these interviews, I encourage you guys to go watch them on YouTube and check them out, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, you know, I tried my best to be able to build a community of sorts, and I cannot wait to be able to keep growing, not only with Instagram, which we're almost up to 4K, but you know, we're at the halfway mark, you know, with 3,350. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there, to say the least. And I'll tell y'all one thing. It has been a very beautiful but very windy day here. But I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Hope you guys are having an incredible day. So let's go ahead and talk about this interview that, you know, she's getting ready to be prepared for, and you know, I cannot wait to get a chance to have her on. She is the one, the only Anna Toole. She is coming from the Charleston Muay Thai in Charleston, South Carolina. In case you guys have not got a chance to check them out, I encourage you guys to go check them out, because they trained some amazing warriors. They trained so many incredible fighters out of that camp, and I tell you one thing, if I'm in the Charleston area, you best believe I'm gonna head down to Charleston Muay Thai and get a chance to train with these amazing athletes, these amazing fighters to say the least. I know Amy's getting ready to fight at Conflict, and I know Anna's got something prepared, which we'll talk about later on. And of course, I know Anna and Nikki, and I think Emily Keck is going to be doing Ring Girl for Conflict. So I hope they all have a great time. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome in the one, the only Miss Anna Toole.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very great. I'm so glad for you to get a chance to join me. How have you been doing?
I've been doing well. I've been really busy, but thank you for having me. I appreciate the time, and
No
it's nice to
problem.
finally meet you.
It's definitely nice to finally meet you. I think the last time we got a chance to talk was you helped me out with a very special project for Amy Peduto for
Yes.
the Jay and Trey podcast. Which if you guys have not got a chance to check that out, I encourage you guys to do so because what I did was I had Anna, I had Kayla, and I had so many of her teammates to help me share something incredible for Amy before she went on to this trip that she went on. So, but what have you been up to? I know you're training for something. What's been going on?
Yes. I just started fight camp, so my next fight, or hopefully fights, will be March 10th through 13th. It's the World Qualifier Tournament in Denver, Colorado. So I'm competing for a spot on the United States team.
That is very, very awesome, and I definitely do wish you the best of luck, to say the least. So,
Thank you.
like I just talked about, I mean, you came from the one and only Charleston Muay Thai, and how long have you been a part of this? How long have you been with them? Because I've heard you're pretty much the OG out of this bunch.
Well, the gym itself has been open 3 years this month, but a bunch of the other OGs, we've trained together for a long time. So Jeff, like I said, he finally got his chance to open his spot, and he's been open 3 years. But before that, we were training over at another gym that was local to the area, and before that, we were at another gym. And honestly, in between, there were sections where we didn't have a gym, and we would just meet up at Title and just train. So um, overall, I've been training almost 7 years now.
Mhm. Well, I mean, and I want to get a chance to talk to you. And I had to bring this up, but yeah, this is with you and your crew. I mean, when I think about this picture right here, this is pretty much y'all's big, huge family that you're a part of. I mean, tell me your relationship with you and Amy and Nikki and the rest of these girls here.
Well, I mean, like you said, we are a family. We, outside of the gym and outside of our sparring rounds, we have each other's back. But during those sparring rounds, it's on and it's competitive, and we're really blessed to like push each other and make each other better. But at the same time, if we need something outside of the gym, then I know those girls would have my back in a heartbeat. All I have to do is ask, and they would come through. So something that makes our gym different is that we do have like a majority of our fight team is female. And
Hmm.
so we just want girls to know that they're badass and they can do whatever they think, and if they want to fight somebody, then we're going to help them fight somebody. But it's just that like knowledge that people have your back, and that just leads you to have a sense of confidence. And that sense of confidence allows you to accomplish whatever you put your mind to.
I mean, you can pretty much say that you pretty much boost one another when it comes to these fights because I know I've seen you, supporting either Amy or you supporting, one of your teammates. No matter what fight you do, that goes to show how much you guys know respect for one another, but you support one another. I mean, has that always been that like that between you and the rest of the girls?
Oh, absolutely. We're always hyping each other up, and one of us is always in each other's corner. And Amy always says, like, Jeff's the one that will kind of like talk sense, and then the other girl that's in there is the one that's hype and like, let's go, come on, like you got to get this girl. So it's just a family, and we're blessed to have each other because I know not all gyms are like that, but it's awesome.
Whenever I first met you guys, it was like, I'm like, I love this. It's like y'all are like this one huge family, and I admire that so so much. And I encourage you guys go check them out at Charleston Muay Thai on Instagram. They're incredible, and hopefully, if I ever come down there, I will definitely get a chance to check you guys out. So I want to go ahead and
Heck
start
yeah,
things
you better
off.
come visit.
I definitely will. I definitely will. I already know I'll end up getting like a family welcome if I even do go down there.
Good.
But I want to start things off is that you have been fighting for quite some time, and I think can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I want to make sure. So you've been fighting for quite some time, and I want to know is that what inspired you to start fighting?
So I've been an athlete all my life, very competitive. I grew up in a family with a bunch of boy cousins, and we were always playing games, and races and things like that. And so I was a college athlete. I played soccer for 4 years, and
Hmm.
I went to a school in North Carolina. And I told myself, after I graduate, I'm going to move to Charleston because I played a lot of soccer here. And so I moved here, and I was by myself
Hmm.
working out in an apartment gym, and just over time it got so boring. Like I just would run on the treadmill, and I'd be like, I'm used to practicing with the team, and now it's just me and this treadmill and like this pair of dumbbells. And so I was like, all right, I got to find something. So I think I was at like Steel City Pizza or something, and I saw a flyer that was like, "Come try title kickboxing," and I was like, "Hmm." In soccer, you kick people, like I would like this. So I went and tried my
Hmm.
first boxing class, and that's where I met Jeff Grady. And he saw right away that I was like really competitive. And it's funny, I was a teacher at the time, and we had gone on a field trip that day, and I was like punching the bag really low, and he was like, "Why are you hitting it so low?" And I was like, "I teach fifth graders. This is how tall they are, okay?" So, anyways, met him, and he saw, something, I guess, and we uh, started doing like private lessons, and I learned Muay Thai. And so that was kind of the next step, was going from kickboxing and hitting a bag to actually, punching and kicking a person. And
Yeah.
so the rest is history. I fell in love with it, and I was like, I love Muay Thai because you can never be good enough. Like there's always a next level. There's always, a way for you to level up, a way for you to get better, and just that constant challenge is
Hmm.
something I strive for.
I definitely do admire that because if I've seen a couple of your fights and you can tell like how much you put into it. You can tell like how competitive you can be, especially with the amount of training, the amount of effort that you've been doing. And speaking of training, I mean, what would you say would be the most difficult part when it comes to training?
Um, the most difficult part of training is definitely the mental aspect. If you don't love this shit so much that you hate it some days, like I don't know if it's for you. And there's several sessions where I'll be sparring, and things get emotional, especially as a female, and I'll like walk over to my water bottle and like cry in my headgear, and then I got to wipe those tears and get right back on the mat for the next round. So just that mental battle through sparring and pad work and things like that. But I do see that mental battle and that struggle pays off the most too. So I would say the most
Yeah.
challenging part is also the most rewarding part.
I was gonna say, I mean, like when it comes to these mental battles, I mean, you go through so much when it comes to this training. Is how do you really handle this type of mental battle that you're dealing with?
That's a tough question. Honestly, just take one punch at a time. Like some training sessions are great and you are the hammer, and then some training sessions suck and you're the nail. And you just have to take with the good with the bad. And thankfully, I have a team that supports me and that I know is going to push me to be my best. And so some of that push is going to be hard. But if it wasn't hard, I don't think it would be worth it.
I definitely like that. And by the way, we do have some viewers in here. If you guys want to get a chance to send some comments down, we would love to get a chance to see your comments. Or if you guys have any questions for her, send in your questions as well, because you definitely have a question from the Instagram earlier. And you know what? I got to ask you this because you've been fighting and you've got a chance to see a lot. What would you say has been the most toughest fight you've been a part of?
Hmm. Well, every opponent is a little bit better than you think they're going to be. So I've definitely never had like an easy fight. Um, I don't think I can narrow that down to one, but I fought Savannah Foden my seventh fight, and that girl was tough. I fought Cameron Corchado, and my head was just snapping back the whole time. Every fight that I have for Charles E. Maynard, I know is going to be a banger. So, I mean, these girls come to fight, and I respect that. And if they didn't, I don't think the game would be as fun as it was or as it is.
I definitely do want to talk about one thing. So there's an event coming up called Conflict, and you guys just have to fight there
Yes,
last year. But because of what you're going to be
yes.
doing coming up in Denver, you're going to be a ring girl with Nikki and I think Emily as well. I mean, are you
Yes.
excited about that? I mean, do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely bummed. I'd rather be in the cage fighting, but Jared and the guys at Conflict are awesome. And even my opponent, the person I was going to fight, she understood that this tournament was a big deal and she's willing to postpone this fight, for a later card date. So, yes, I'm bummed that I can't fight, but I'm also really stoked to be able to go to a show in my hometown and not be stressed about myself fighting. So being able to like go and watch my friends and cheer them on and kind of put myself in an environment that like I'm not really used to. So I'm really excited to have Emily and Nicole do this with me. I think we'll have a really good time, but it's nice to do something different. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and speaking of your team, we have someone down in the comments, and this is Audrey, I believe. She says, "We love you, Anna. Question: What is your favorite post-fight meal?"
Oh, I love you too, Audrey. All right, my favorite post-fight meal. So, obviously, I love donuts. So anytime I can get some sugar in my system, that would be my number one answer. But after a fight, I want pizza, I want a margarita, I want tacos. Like most of the time, I'm celebrating, even if I lose. Like I just completed this fight camp and I just fought this girl for 3 or 5 rounds. Like let's party. So I think last fight I ate nachos. So whatever I can
Okay.
get my hands on.
Hey, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Audrey, for the question here. Once again, if you guys have any more questions, please send them down to the comments. I'd love to get a chance to answer them. So, you got what's coming up in Denver. So, I mean, how did that happen? I mean, you're on the list. I know you got a lot to be prepared for. So, what's going to go through your mind, as you have this fight camp coming up, and you're going to be preparing for possibly maybe one of what, maybe 2 or 3 fights, I believe.
So I had the chance to visit Houston, Texas, late 2021, and I got to train with Michael Corley, and he's the president of USA Muay Thai. And he brought up this tournament to me. He asked me how many fights I had, and that was the first I really heard about it.
Hmm.
Then I started seeing people post online about how they got invited to the tournament, and I just assumed that I wasn't invited. And so I was like, oh, maybe next year. And then I actually got a message from him being like, okay, if you have to weigh in 4 days in a row, would you rather fight at this weight class or this weight class? So normally, when I fight at 125. But if I have to do that 4 days in a row, I want to be at my best capacity.
Yeah.
So I'm actually fighting up a weight class at 132. So it's great because I don't really have to go through a cut. I'm going to feel strong. I can still lift weights. I can still eat. I can hydrate. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be different. And at the same time, I'm going to have energy to push myself. So whether that's pushing myself running, sparring, pad work, weightlifting, whatever I need to do, I'm going to have that energy to do so. So it doesn't really feel real,
Hmm.
and I think once we get on a plane to go, we're gonna be like, oh shit, like here we go. But I'm just gonna treat
Uh,
it. I'm gonna treat it like any other competition or match that I've had.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Audrey did say, "Hell yeah, donuts and Mars,"
She gets me.
and of course you have another question with Roberto Armas, and
Yeah.
he's asking, "Who is your favorite sparring partner?"
I think he just wants me to say him. That's why he asked me that. But no, I love sparring Rob. It's always a good time. There's been times where we haven't had elbow pads on, and I've thrown an elbow and been like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." So things with him can always get intense. But no, the cool part about our gym is like we have somebody for every little part of training. You want to train clinch, you go train with this person. You want to get good pads, you train with this person. You want to spar hard and beat the ever living what out of each other, you spar with this person. So blessed to have a familia that I can go to for whatever. But shout out to you, Rob.
Hey, once again, I definitely do appreciate all the comments and the questions because this is definitely going to be incredible. I do have something special for you at the end of this interview, so be prepared for this one.
Oh
you
gosh. Okay.
hey, but I will tell you this though is that whenever like the younger generation look up to you, and the rest of the girls. I mean, is there any advice for any of the younger generation that want to start when it comes to this fighting?
get started now. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I started so much earlier than I did. But yeah, get started as soon as possible. Martial arts teaches you so much more than how to punch and kick. I mean, yes, you're learning how to defend yourself, but you're learning life lessons. You're learning who you are as a person. You're learning how you're going to react when you get punched in the face. There's so many things that martial arts teaches you, and I wish I would have learned these lessons at an earlier age. And so if if I can inspire and my team can inspire this younger generation coming up, like, that would be amazing, because if they get started now, like, who knows what they're going to accomplish in 10, 15, 20 years. World
Yeah.
champs.
I definitely do admire that. When it comes to your team, and yet, as big as a family as you guys are, how do you guys help motivate one another? Especially what if it's fight camp or if it's just regular training? How do you guys help one another motivate each other?
If it's just regular training, it's just having that knowledge that someone's going to be there to be your partner. So one of the hardest parts about training is you need somebody to be there for you, whether that's to let them hit you, to hold pads for you. You can't do this on your own. And so it's knowing that someone will be there for you, and then in fight camp, it's going it through the grind together,
Yeah.
because going through a camp can be very grueling and very emotionally exhausting. And if you have someone that's there that you can vent to, or ask a question about, or just experience with, it makes it a little bit easier. And then I don't know if Amy talked about this when she was on, but she started this amazing tradition that spread to other gyms. I think it started maybe my 10th fight, I'm not sure, but I had to travel to fight, and she was not able to go with me. So she
Hmm.
made this bag of like goodies. So just to like take my mind off the stress, or, maybe eat after weigh-ins, or just a little treat. And it just made me smile, every time I looked at it. And so now we have 8 to 10 people fighting at a time. So now she's making 8 to 10 bags. And then other people at the gym see like her small acts of kindness, and then they want to join in too. So she's an inspiration for those people at the gym to be like, okay, well, if I see like her doing it, like, I want to do it too. And then
Hmm.
people in other states are starting to do it now. And so just again, the small things and knowing that someone is there for whatever you need, I think that makes the biggest difference.
And I think that definitely does make a huge difference, especially with how much you guys love one another and with what she did for you, to say the least. And before we get to what I have in store for you, just a final question in this: whenever people see you as a fighter, I mean, what's the one thing you want people to see you as when it comes to fighting, when it comes to in the ring or outside the ring? What's the best way you want people to look at you as?
Anybody, anywhere, anytime. I don't care the weight. I don't care how many weeks out. I don't care the rule set. Like, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to fight you. And that's what I hope that they expect, and hope that they anticipate and know when I'm in that ring or that cage, is that I'm here to fight.
Very well said. Well, hey, so I have something very special for you, and I wanted to do this because you helped me out with Amy on the last interview. So what I did was I got a couple of your teammates together to help write how much you meant to them. So this was something special I wanted to do for you because you're an incredible fighter. I mean, you not only helped out the fighters, at times you also helped me out as well on the fighting now side. You've also have been so incredible to me. So I wanted to be able to do something special for you. And
No.
I got Amy's, I got Audrey's, and I got Kayla's to be able to send me their notes. And this is
Oh
what they all
gosh.
have to say. So
Okay.
this is from Amy. Amy is the OG boss of our badass squad, and she leads the entire team fiercely by example. She's always the hardest worker in the room and inspires everyone around to be better, stronger, faster version of themselves. She is the fearless and relentless in her determination to be the best in the game. She knows that easy never makes you better, is humble in victory, and is graceful in defeat. Always leaves her heart in the ring. While I can go on forever, all the way she's a superstar, I can never put into words all she has done for me as a fighter, teammate, and friend, and how thankful I am for all of it. I've grown up in this game by my side, and sorry about that, from day one, and she's been in my corner for every battle I've ever fought, inside and outside of the ring. I wouldn't be who or where I am without her, and for that I am very grateful. I can't wait to see what this year has in store for you and to ride into battle. And this is what she said: "Fuck shit up by your side. Let's let go. Time to cause a fucking commotion." That's what she
That
said.
sounds like her. Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you, Amy. I can't wait to fuck shit up. Let's do it.
Whenever I got this, I'm like, okay, when it comes to here, there's
I told
no
you she's the hype girl. Like we got
she
Jeff in the
is.
corner that's calm and like he gives you advice, and then Amy's like, "You better go and you better destroy her right now. Like let's go."
when I seen you fight at a Cyan fight, I believe I could
Yeah.
hear her screaming and
Oh yeah.
yelling. I'm like, this is Amy we're talking about here. So I mean, she
The
is
best
that
part is we'll go
teammate.
back and watch it,
Where,
and she's like, "You should probably mute that so they can't hear me." And I'm like, "No, I gotta leave it."
well, this next one is coming from Kayla, and she said, Anna Toole is the OG trailblazer and foundation for our team. Without her, I don't really know where any of us would be doing. She is a fearless leader and the kindest soul, always bringing it with everything she's got and pushes herself and for everyone else to get better every day. Never an ounce of judgment, just purely encouraging and an awesome human.
Oh,
Man,
that was
that's
so
something.
sweet. Thank you, Kayla.
So I will warn you right now. Just I have to be able to show you this because whenever Audrey sent me
Okay.
this was like right after the Jay and Trey podcast. So I really couldn't get a chance to write it down, so I pretty much
Okay.
screenshot what she sent. So I hope that's okay. All right.
Sure. Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it is very long to say the least. So I am so honored to be writing this. Thank you for letting me say a few words of appreciation for Anna. I first met Anna at Title Boxing where she was teaching classes. I remember looking at her and being so inspired, and all of that is Anna. So much confidence, of self-respect, and of course muscles. But I think our friendship really blossomed when she started teaching at a woman's only striking class at a different gym that was more focused on fighting. I remember how intimidating it was walking into the gym because it was mostly guys and they were all fighters. But as soon as I would meet up with Anna and in her class, she would make me feel like that I belonged and that my journey mattered. Now I share that mentality with the new people at my current gym, like letting them know that everyone starts at the beginning and not to discount that journey by feeling bad about partnering with someone. And then this is more that she also had to say. Uh, I had to make sure I get this. I had to make sure that I got all that she said because she typed a lot. um,
Oh.
but in that woman's class, Anna was able to promote a really strong sisterhood between all of the women from all different backgrounds and different experience levels. One of my fondest memories of preparing for my wedding was Anna customizing a workout inspired by sweating for the wedding. Whenever I was I'm trying not to butcher this, y'all. I'm trying not to butcher this. Whenever I'm going through a tough season in life, she's always here to help pick up the pieces and pitch in whatever she can. She has believed in me more than I believe in myself sometimes. And I'm so grateful. Just last year, she talked me into signing up for a PKB tournament, which was a local tournament held by our gym, and supported me throughout the entire camp. I ended up winning, and I would have never signed up if it wasn't for her. I'm currently doing one-on-one sessions with Anna. Not only that, to sharpen my skills, and but also she because she is an awesome person. And I'll say this: after a session with her, I feel like a completely different person, happy, fulfilled, and proud of myself. Anna, you have so many people who love and support you, and I am one of those many. You can do attitude is infectious. You inspire others to do better, and your straight class. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Oh, Jake, thank you so much for reaching out. And girls, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make me cry. That was so sweet. I really appreciate all your kind words. Thank you so much.
When I tell you this, and I spend pretty much like maybe about 3 or 4 pages just preparing for yours and the interview before that. I wanted to make sure that this was an interview that you probably will never forget because
Oh,
it's
absolutely
just
not.
because it's just the heart that you have is just so incredible. You know, the way that you are kind to others and the way that you fight. I mean, you're just genuinely an incredible fighter to say the least. And this is something I wanted to do for you. And I was preparing for this all week long. So I really hope you
Oh,
enjoy this and that you remember this.
I will never forget it. Thank you, Jake. That was very, very, very kind.
Not a problem, but yet, Anna, you are going to do so many incredible things. I know many of your friends slash teammates got your back whenever you do go onto this plane to go qualify for this, and I know you're going to do many things. And Joe, before we head off the air, and I know you have a lot you want to say, is there any final comments you want to say?
Um, Sorry, I'm kind of like just overwhelmed, but first of all, thank you for all you do in supporting women because there is, before you, nobody was shouting us out. Nobody was saying, hey, look at this badass girl. And so just, your support just means the world to each and every one of us. So thank you for that. And of course, I have to shout out my team, one team, one family. The culture is what makes Charleston Muay Thai. Yeah, we like to fight each other, but it's really just friends, family, and having each other's back. So love each and every one of you. This journey would not be possible without you, and I can't wait to see where it takes us next.
I believe there's so many incredible things, and yet there was a question for you, and I forgot to mention about it until it just now hit
Sure.
me. But Audrey did message me this, or she actually commented on the questions, and she goes, "How are you so fast?" She goes, "How are you so fast?"
Okay, so this goes back to soccer. For preseason, we had to run every single day of the summer for like 40 minutes, and that got boring really fast. And so I would try to do it as fast as I could so that I would be over quickly. And then I was like, oh, so in order to teach myself to run fast, you have to run fast. So I would
Yeah.
just do like sprint intervals. We have this fitness test called the Man U where you just sprint down and back and recover. So the best way to get fast is to run fast. Start somewhere, and each day, if you get a little bit faster, that's you're making progress.
Yeah. Well, hey, real quick, if there's anybody in the comments who wants to ask Anna one more question before we hop off the air, because I can honestly tell you, this has definitely been one of my favorite interviews I've got a chance to do throughout this whole week. So just to be able to get a chance to do something like this for you and for others is all I want to do because it's not only just you, it's the whole team. You guys have been so incredible with you and Nicole and Emily and Amy and the list goes on. Kristen and Audrey, so many people that are a part of the team are admired by your heart, admired by what you're doing for them. And I can honestly say, on behalf of all of them and myself, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being such an incredible person that you pretty much are a light to those that are going through a lot of darkness. So really, truly, thank you.
No problem. If I can help anybody out, then it's a good day.
We definitely do appreciate that for sure. And if you guys want to get a chance to follow Miss Anna, you guys can get a chance to follow her. Tool Time on Instagram. Is there any other social media platform that you had that you want to everyone to follow you on?
Nope. Instagram is really where I do most of my social mediaing, but I appreciate that shout out. Thank you.
Not a problem. But hey, make sure you guys get a chance to follow her on Instagram. There's so many more incredible things coming for her way. And I'm gonna do this. I do this to all the fighters, but I'm not worthy for having you up on here. It's just been so incredible to say the least. And I know that the best is yet to come for you, my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your time. And please keep grinding, doing what you're doing. We are cheering for you.
And I'm cheering for you guys on. Like before, if I do head down to Charleston Muay Thai, you best believe I'm gonna stop by and say hey to you
You
guys.
better.
I
If we
will.
find out you're in the area and you don't come see us, we're gonna be very upset. You're gonna have like a crew of 8 girls that are gonna come find you and be like, "Come train with us."
Trust me, as tough as you guys are, I mean, I am not going to mess with y'all not one bit. But honestly, I appreciate you so much for joining me, and that was just an incredible interview. So thank you for all that you
Thanks.
do. Good luck with the
Thank you.
qualifiers. Good luck, with the conflict. I know you're going to have a great time, and just good luck in general. We're all cheering for you on.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I hope you have an incredible time.
Bye.
Later. That was Miss Anatole. I hope you guys enjoyed that incredible interview. It was an awesome time. It was very, very great. Thank you all so much for the questions and the comments. This is the first time I actually have like the amount of questions and comments. So thank you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have so much more coming your way, and I just want to say thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. I am Jake. Be sure to follow me at The Fighting Now. But until then, we'll see you guys soon.